So we did our entire NBA free agency live reaction show, and we waited for the first Sixers domino to fall, but it never did. However, a couple hours later, here we are, and boom, breaking news, the Sixers have finally made a signing, but also we have some information that could impact other signings. So we will talk about it all and break it all down. Welcome into Philly Take with RB. Make sure you like this video and subscribe. And turn on those noties so you don't miss any of the coverage. Just coming out a couple minutes ago, Shams Charania reports that Trendon Watford has agreed to a 2-year, $5.3 million deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. Watford is set to play a potential key role in the Sixers rotation. Now, look, the Sixers have no power forwards on the roster. Well, they didn't, and now they do. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Trendon Watford is a power forward. Does that mean that Grimes and Yabu will have any impact with those situations? Will this impact anything? The answer is actually no. Adam Aronson says trying to confirm it definitively, but I'm fairly certain this is a minimum deal for Trendon Watford, which means it does not impact the Yabu and tax MLE situation at all. Once again, you know, we talked about this a few times, but simply put, the money number, all right, like the magic number here is $5.7 million. The Sixers need to hope they can squeeze Yabusele into the 5.7, get him to take a bit of a discount, get that tax mid-level. That means they would be hard capped at the second apron and not the first, and that would allow them to easily go and re-sign Quentin Grimes. So we'll get back to that in a second, but Trendon Watford on a 2-year, $5.3 million deal is actually some pretty good value. Here are his numbers from last year. He played 44 games with the Brooklyn Nets. He averaged 10.2 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 2.6 assists. So still not the rebounding numbers that I would like to see, but if we go and inspect a little bit further, he actually had his best year in the NBA. And he is a 4-year player, veteran, I guess you could say at this point, but he was an undrafted player back in 2021. He played at LSU, and he has gotten better year over year. Again, it's hard to really, thrive with the Brooklyn Nets, and we've seen what they have done, and it's been tough, to really thrive in that environment. But he only played 20 minutes a game last year, and when he got an uptick in minutes, his numbers went up. Still not really the complementary power forward that I think this team needs in terms of rebounding and just positional versatility and spot up shooting. But at least from the few things I've seen and remember of this guy, he is a defensive versatile piece. He's actually a really good passer. And I just saw this stat from Austin Krell. He says Trendon Watford had an assist rate of 21.1% last season, which ranked 92nd percentile for bigs on Clean the Glass. So that's a really good assist rate. He's a crafty passer as a big man, can play inside out, and he is a defensive versatile piece. Now, I don't think he's going to grab 10 rebounds a game. I don't even think he's going to start on this team. I think he'll be a potential rotational piece, like Sham said, and he'll probably fight against John A. Broome for the backup 4. But I do think Watford has a much better chance of actually fulfilling that role. And Tyrese Maxey is actually really good friends with Trendon Watford, which I did not know or remember. And I found this tweet from Lucas Kaplan where Tyrese Maxey said Trendon Watford texted him after last game, yeah, you can play like that on NBA TV, but what are you going to do on Christmas? And they've had a couple back and forth things like this before, and they're actually really good friends off the floor. I don't know if that's from where they grew up. I think Trendon Watford grew up in Alabama, so maybe there's some ties. I don't really know. But Trendon Watford is the newest power forward for the 76ers. He's young. He's only, 24 years old, has room to grow. Like I said, not by any means a complete product, but he's better than what you had because what you had is nothing. Now the question is, how does this impact the next couple of moves? So all night, right, we're sitting here and we're waiting for Quentin Grimes and we're waiting for Guerschon Yabusele. And actually, as I am recording this right now, I just got a notification, T. Jones on the NBA. You guys are getting live in action RB. Hold on, let's go to T. Jones NBA. he says that it appears Guerschon Yabusele will not return to the Philadelphia 76ers next season. So everything I was just about to say in regards to Yabusele might be off the table. And that sucks. If Trendon Watford is the replacement, it feels like the 76ers are, trying to kind of exchange what they got in Yabu. I mean, Yabu was a bit inconsistent, but he played his ass off for what he did coming back from France and, really provided bang for their buck, So if Yabu is indeed not coming back to the 76ers next season, I think that is a miss by the Sixers. Shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Fume. Fume is a flavored air device designed to help people replace bad habits with a better alternative. Flavored air is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking. And Fume offers a simple and enjoyable way to break away from your bad habits while still having something satisfying to reach for. Their award-winning flavored air device delivers great taste without any nicotine or harmful chemicals. Instead of inhaling vapor, you simply breathe in natural, non-toxic flavors that satisfy the craving without the downside. Their premium wooden device has a magnetic fidgeting feature that adds an extra layer of satisfaction, making it perfect for relieving stress or staying focused. Imagine watching the Sixers getting blown away and you have this to keep your attention. Fume is easy to take anywhere, whether you're at work, traveling, or just relaxing at home. They have continuously invested in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products. Over 500,000 people have already made the switch to Fume as part of their habit change journey. So if you're ready to try for yourself, now is the time. For a limited time, if you order the Journey Pack using my code Philly, you'll get a free Fume topper, an awesome accessory to level up your experience. So click the link down below, tryfume.com/Philly, or scan the QR code on the screen and get yours today. But again, the magic number is $5.7 million. Using more than that would trigger the hard cap at the first apron, and then they would have a lot of trouble re-signing Quentin Grimes. So what this means is that a team is probably going to offer Yabu more than the 5.7 tax MLE. Who is it? I don't know, because when we think about it, Luke Cornett signs with the Spurs tonight, 4 years, $41 million. And Luke Cornett, I mean, he's a solid backup big, but $10 million a year, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. But the Spurs were willing to pay that for Luke Cornett. Now, they still actually can get Yabu, but it's really going to come down to a slim margin. They have to use the rest of their non-tax MLE and their biannual. So really, the rest of their money would go to Yabu if it is the Spurs. Then you have a team like the Clippers, who was another potential squad that could steal him away. And Brook Lopez signs there, which I was very surprised about given Ivica Zubac. But Lopez agrees to a 2-year, $18 million deal, which is what I anticipated Yabusele would get. So the Clippers are out of the equation. Who will it be? Well, another team could be the Denver Nuggets. Now, the Nuggets traded Michael Porter Jr. and an unprotected 2032 first to the Brooklyn Nets. And essentially, the Nets are taking on $17 million more in cap space by taking on MPJ. So I don't know what the Brooklyn Nets are doing. They wanted like 4 first-round picks at one time for Cam Johnson. They get an unprotected 2032 first-rounder and Michael Porter Jr. So I sit here and I go, all right, well, the Nets are taking on all that money. Could Denver be a spot to take on Yabusele? Maybe it is the Denver Nuggets. I'm sure it'll probably come out here in the next few minutes after I am done recording this, but that's where we're at. Now the question is, will they re-sign Quentin Grimes? Well, I think by all indications, the Sixers are going to re-sign Quentin Grimes. The question is, what is the amount? How much is it going to be? So I think it's going to be 4 years, $18 million per year, $72 million total. It seems like Yabu's going to be gone. I thought they were doing everything that they could to bring back Yabusele, but I guess he did not want to take the discount. And let's be honest, I don't blame him one bit. I am very thankful for what he did for this organization, and I'm glad he resurrected his career. But you get a little bit younger, you get a guy who has good versatility on the defensive end. He's tough-minded. He plays hard every game. And in terms of the shooting, this past year he averaged 33%. A couple of years before that, he was at 39%, but he doesn't shoot a lot of threes. Like I said, he's more of an interior big, but a creative mind. So look, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do on the floor for this team. I still think the Sixers are going to need a starting power forward. That's going to be a big topic of conversation. And honestly, if I look at their cap sheet, I mean, I think it's going to have to come via trade. I think you're going to have to move Oubre and Drummond to try to package them, and maybe even Gordon to go get a power forward. So that is where I'm at. Those are my thoughts. Give me yours down below. What do you think about this signing? What do you think about Yabu potentially not being back? And will they bring back Grimes? What should the amount be? Give me all your thoughts down below. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll keep you up to date with all the news, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.